Hello, I'm Tracy Pa with the Midday News. In commemoration of the bomb attack on the UN headquarters in Baghdad, Iraq on the 19th of August 2023, the United Nations General Assembly adopted a resolution designated the 19th of August every year as World Humanitarian Day. During the remembrance, WHD focuses on a team bringing together partners from across the humanitarian system to advocate for the survival, well-being, and dignity of people affected by the crisis. The theme for this year is No Matter What, that focuses on the importance, effectiveness, and positive impact of humanitarian work. United Nations Residence Coordinator in PNG, Richard Howard, acknowledged the DMT members' development partners, including World Bank, EU, the Red Cross Movement, World Vision, Caritas, PNG Council of Churches, HEDRA, Care International, AMF, Child Fund, Equal Playing Field, Oxfam Plan, and Save the Children for their continued humanitarian work in Papua New Guinea. A two-week training courses ended on a high note for 23 participants from Sumkar District Community-Based Organization graduating with certificates. The intensive training on participatory journalism is an initiative of Mataka, registered not-for-profit advocacy group established in April 2009. Makata, short for Mas Kagen Tapani, runs the Sea Turtle Restoration and Protection Project. Makata Fund Wallace Magen and former TV journalist Mata Lewis facilitated the training in Alexisafin. The participants were taught basic journalism skills, including writing scripts, capturing and editing videos to be able to improve the communicating their work better.
Real evidence na facts mi play lining plus practicals na theories that me making me play equip na making me play also me play them tool where me play ba go out na me play ba making work. Now one time ogata experience na sawe or skills me play sim through lo this la training and me believe lo miet na lo one bla all colleagues lo mi lo this la 2 weeks come me believe also me play go out bambla making plenty strong play work lo seni si madang na bring him good to sit down.
We go through the training. We find out some mistake and stuff. But me come now, me looking, and me talk thank you. Me bago na. Helping father blo me lo. When I'm sao mixing me abang sa Tracy mab sa school blo me pla.
In regional news, the 22nd Melanesian Spearhead Group Leaders Summit and related meetings commenced in Port Vila with the pre-summit senior officials meeting from the 19th to 20 August, followed by the foreign ministers meeting on Monday. Vice Minister assisting the Prime Minister on state matters, Maguva Dilu, is representing Papua New Guinea at the FMM as Prime Minister James Marape is expected to fly into Port Vila today to join the rest of the heads of MSG countries for the official opening ceremony. The plenary session will be held on Wednesday and leaders retreat on Thursday. The 22nd MSG is being convened and appropriately themed, being relevant and influential. It takes on shared development issues and common challenges confronting MSG member states of PNG, Solomon Islands, Vanuatu, Fiji, and flanks, including Indonesia as an associated member. In far western Queensland, traditional owners are taking on a mining giant in a last-ditch attempt to protect their land.
Stretching into the horizon, Palunga Reserve on the Queensland Northern Territory border is a hidden gem. Wankamadla traditional owners want it protected from mining.
It's part of our identity and how we see ourselves and where we fit in the world. So when things happen to our land, it's almost as though it's happening to us.
They've lodged an application with the Queensland Government for a special wildlife reserve status. If approved, it means mining permits and commercial grazing would be banned. Conservationists want to highlight the reserve's cultural significance.
These are things that are found nowhere else on the planet. You know, it has a really, really strong case to receive special wildlife reserve status, and we're optimistic that we'll be able to achieve that.
The reserve is owned by Bush Heritage Australia. There are 2 exploration permits on the land for minerals used in renewable energy. One of them is under application by mining giant Rio Tinto.
I think we've seen the outrage of what happened at Juukan Gorge in WA, so it would be similar, if not worse.
There's currently only one special wildlife reserve in all of Queensland. The state government says it's assessing 4 formal applications and has started discussions with 5 other landholders. But the application process can take years. Traditional owners say time is running out.
Once those pristine landscapes are damaged, they're irreplaceable.
The Department of Resources says projects must stack up environmentally. Rio Tinto says it seeks to work cooperatively with the government and communities.
A motion of no confidence was lodged and registered Friday by Vanuatu's opposition bloc, moved by Johnny Konapo, Member of Parliament for Tona constituency, and Malekelu MP Gratian Shedrick, to remove the Speaker of Parliament. Vanuatu's opposition leader Bob Langman has filed an urgent court hearing challenging the decision of the Speaker, Soles Simeon, last Wednesday to not accept the vote of no confidence. Late Wednesday, the opposition is seeking to remove Prime Minister Ismail Kalasua won 26 votes in the 52-member House, while the government got 23 votes. It is not yet known when the court will consider the matter. The opposition boycotted the continuing parliamentary session last Thursday. AFLW players will now receive equal prize money as their male counterparts, with the league almost doubling the reward. It comes as organizers look to increase participants in the sport on the back of the Matilda's success at the World Cup.
Small 18 clubs gather at Docklands Stadium ahead of the 8th season of the AFLW. The eyes of players firmly on the Premiership Cup, those of organisers on the exposure of the game.
With the passion and enthusiasm currently in Australia around women's sport, we really do feel like there's no better time than to burst onto the scene with a feel excitement around the engagement in women's sport, thanks to the Matildas and the Women's World Cup. We've been here now for 7 years, and we really do think that this year is going to be our best season yet. I believe there's a great opportunity on the back of the enthusiasm and passion around women's sport to be able to harness that energy. So the message is really clear. If you are supporting women's sport, you love women's sport, get behind AFLW, go to a match or watch a match and support AFLW, our players and our clubs.
The AFL have shown their support for the women's game, nearly doubling the prize money to equal that of the men. But the top women's teams will still take home less. The $1.1 million will be split between the top 8 teams in the Women's League, while the men's will be shared across the top 4 teams. But the injection of money has been welcomed.
Very exciting. I think any chance that we get to be able to equalise our pay and with the men's is awesome, and yeah, it's a great announcement today and a big step forward for our game.
The Victorian government is under growing pressure to explain why it didn't cancel the Commonwealth Games sooner, in a bid to avoid the $380 million compensation deal to organisers.
Even in the best of times, $380 million is a lot of money to pay to not hold a major event. And Victoria is in the worst of times. There's rising debt, extra taxes, and the government is tightening its belt, including sacking public servants. So what could $380 million buy? 3,800 first-year police or 10 brand new schools? Perhaps $3,000 retention payments for teachers, principals and support staff to halt the exodus from state schools? Or 11,500 heart surgeries or 16,000 hip replacements? The opposition argued if the state had cancelled the games earlier, the severance payment wouldn't have been as great.
Victorians are already over the waste, mismanagement and incompetence of this government.
The Premier says cancelling the Games will save taxpayers billions of dollars. The original business case was dotted with red flags that the cost could balloon, and the government was warned in the first quarter of this year that the costs had blown out. Despite that, the Premier and his deputy are refusing to tell Victorians when they first knew that this event had become too expensive.
In March of this year that we launched the tender website for something like 800 different tender requirements for the operation of the Games. It's once you go through those processes that the numbers become actuals.
The Premier has said this is the best outcome Victoria could get, but the lingering question is why did the government fail to do its homework and why the starter's gun was even fired in the first place.
This ends the Midday News. Join us at 6 for more.